Professor Michael Horodniceanu, one of our amazing Romanian Americans in New York. He's the NYU Tandon School of Engineering professor and chair of the Institute of Design and Construction Innovation Hub. In the past, he redesigned the subway infrastructure of New York, which is a historic feat, and supervised the transformation of New York and in recent years, transformation worth billions, of course. Dr. Horodniceanu, are you with us? Professor Horodniceanu?
Yeah, yes, I am, but for a short time because I have some other pressing matters that I have to attend to. I have a couple of other meetings that are all happening at the same time, but I was here from the very beginning. What I would like to actually say is that at this point, my institute and my colleagues at NYU, we are involved in what we call Project Next. And Project Next is looking at the way the world will have to operate after COVID-19. And that's a challenge. And everyone is kind of looking at various sectors, but there's almost no one looking at it as a system, as a systematic thing. And that's actually takes a lot of my time. We are having our first forum on that on June 18th. And we expect to address something that, in fact, is the bloodline of everything that we do. It's called transportation. And particularly in large cities, we all depend on mass transit. Mass transit is not the preferred mode these days, but without mass transit, mega cities do not exist. So it's very hard as to how you're gonna keep the so-called distance that we need to keep, that is about 6 feet or close to 2 meters, not exact, but not far, and still operate and avoid the proliferation of the virus. But we are looking at all kind of ways, and we are actually looking at as well as the international forum to understand how others have been coping with that. We have our own issues, and this is really something that we are, as part of Project Next, we expect to come up eventually with practices that are going to be able to adopt it in various parts of the United States and the world, because we expect to.
If I may interject, Professor Horodniceanu, you mentioned to me that you've offered your advice and your expertise for free to the Romanian government, except yes, I think Romanian governments tend to come and go, and I'm not sure that your offer was received or remembered.
Listen, sometimes I'm always saying that, and this is sometimes true, sometimes not, that people look at it and it said, if it costs nothing, probably is not worth taking it. So, and if it costs a lot, probably it's very important that you acquire it. But look, I have practiced, in effect, engineering for the last 50 years. And I am, in effect, looking right now, that's why I returned to academia, in order to share some of the things that I have been able to learn along the way with the new generation of students. And one of the things that I heard today that worried me a lot is the fact that we have at NYU a lot of foreign students that after they're being trained, they tend, many of them, to remain and stay in the US, and they start this OPT, optional professional training, but then they stay longer and then they end up staying here. That strengthened actually the economy, and actually I'm leaving here to go into a faculty meeting in which that is going to become a topic, because that's going to mean that some of our students may not necessarily come back because of that. Yes, I've offered, and the offer is still there.
Thank you for that. I hope somebody is listening. I'm sure this is the right platform to reiterate that.
I'm really sorry that I will have to kind of leave.
Of course. Thank you.
But, you know, one of the things that I am very proud of is that in New York, where I was for 9 years, the president of Metropolitan Transportation Authority Construction Company, Capital Construction Company. I was able to build a number of lines, including what it's been over the years, the most talked about segment was the 2nd Avenue, that people talked about it at the beginning of the 20th century, and it was completed on 2016, the first phase only. So you can imagine some of these projects take a long time to ripe into reality, so to speak. So I apologize, I will have to leave, and I hope that I will get invited again next time around when we have that. So at that time, I will have a little more time to.
You are always welcome.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.